Okay. Sounds good. Good morning, everyone. Paulo. Um, I've been a member of Down Mountain for around 10 years and a practitioner of Buddhism for give or take 20 years. I will be your meditation leader this morning. So this morning we're going to be doing just holding our attention on objects. That's kind of the idea of what we'll be doing. The first 5 to 10 minutes of our meditation, we will focus on our breath. I'll just guide you through some things to pay attention and how to relax, and a little bit how to be in your body when we're paying attention to our breath. And then, say like 7 minutes into the practice, we'll do a home practice where we just chant the syllable home. That particular practice was given to Anne, our teacher, our Lama, by her teacher, Atsum Trungpa, in 2002 when she was in Tibet studying with him. And it's meant to be like a very simple and accessible practice, but it still has a lot of profundity to it. I might just be adding some of my personal experience to it, but I just find that, the breath is something that's very like calm and it's just your body. And it's a great object of meditation to be paying attention to, just on the basis of training our minds to pay attention to something. But at least for me, meditation, like I wanted to translate into real world experience. And being able to chant something or have a sound that's a little bit more dynamic than just your breath, it's kind of like this like step in that direction of like, hey, like how do I integrate my meditation into my day-to-day work? How do I catch myself when I'm at work and something's really stressful or it's like really taking me away from my center? Or it might be like a personal relationship or whatever's going on in your life. Like you're really going off center and you're not able to be like present. Like how do we start a train in that direction? So it's my sense that this home practice is a dynamic approach to being able to start to access that meditation, or like blend it more into your life, day-to-day life. That's basically it. It's always good to think about. I think pretty much in everything we do in life, but meditation is one of those things that we're doing deliberately, and if we don't do deliberately and we don't know why we're doing it, we're likely not going to have a good practice, right? Because you're just going to have other things come up in life and you're not going to do it. So specific to Mahayana, the middle way of Buddhism, but I think it's really prevalent all across Buddhism. We practice to be a benefit to ourselves and other sentient beings. So we'll start with our aspiration in Shantideva, which are at the top of the page that says group practice prayers. And it's just a reminder of why we practice, or just setting that intention. So let's go ahead and if you're online, feel free to unmute yourself. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. And with that in mind, we'll start our meditation. So allow yourself to just start to pay attention to your breath and just arrive home in your body. Maybe sensing your breath wherever it's accessible. Maybe it's your tip of your nose, maybe it's your throat, maybe it's deeper in your belly, or your lungs expanding and contracting. And as you ride that breath into the here and now of the sensations of your body, notice if your belly is a little tense, and as you inhale, allow it to relax and expand. And just feeling into that space that you're creating by just relaxing your belly. Sense and notice if there's maybe any excess tension. Maybe it's your shoulders. Maybe it's your jawline. And as you inhale, invite a little bit of space into your shoulder, your jaw. As you exhale, allow your shoulders to fall away from your ears. Just relax a little bit. Know that you're here now in your body. It's good to connect with our 3 pillars. Just feel your seat connecting to your chair or your cushion. And how through that cushion in your chair, you're being supported by Earth itself. Earth just holds us there in its gravitational pull without judgment, without expectation, just supporting us there, allowing us to exist. It might bring some comfort to know that this support goes directly to the center of Earth, and it's always there for you. As you connect and sense into that support of Earth, allow yourself to notice how your bones, your skeletal structure from that connection at your sits bones rises out and allows you to sit here straight. Each vertebra supporting the next one, supporting your rib cage and arms, getting up to your cervical spine. As you notice your cervical spine, or your otherwise known as your neck, tuck in your chin ever so slightly so that there's a natural alignment of your spine with your skull. And although there's minimal tension in your muscles to hold you up, your bones really help you stand up straight or sit up straight. This is our second pillar of support. As you appreciate your bones and your skeletal structure that allows you to be here standing up or sitting up straight, notice how there's a natural alignment from the depths of your belly, through your spine, through your neck, all the way to the top of your neck, but to the top of your head, naturally aligned. And this internal alignment is our third pillar of support in meditation. we'll chant the syllable hum together for a couple of minutes. So just go at your own pace. Some people start and end at different times, and that's okay. Just being curious about the effect of it on you. Allowing that experience to subside, some level of curiosity around what is that you experience. There's no right answers, just good to be curious and attentive. And as that experience subsides, bringing your attention back to your breath. Maybe this time, as you relax your belly and you ride your breath back into your body, pay attention to your Tao, which is traditionally described as being 3 to 4 finger widths below the navel and 3 to 4 finger widths in. Just trying to breathe deep into your belly. If you like to keep your eyes open, with a gaze that is just open and not focused on anything, that is the preferred way of our tradition, since we meditate in order to be present with the world and not to run away from it. That's only if you feel comfortable with it. If you get distracted, that's okay. Practice is to train how to come back to an object of meditation. Just noticing that judgment, if you have, coming back to the breath. We'll do another round of hums. just allowing your mind to be curious about that experience without holding on or to rejecting any of it. Just being curious. And coming back to the breath. Remembering that your body and your breath are always here and now in the present moment. So they're a little bit of our key, or our conduit to being present. You can reconnect with the 3 pillars, sensing the connection of your sits bones to your chair or to your cushion. Noticing how you're supported by earth, without expectations or judgments, just supported. Feeling how from that supportive earth, our sits bones connect to our spine, connect to our bones, and support us in sitting here and now. And finally, noticing that natural alignment from the depths of our belly, through our spine, all the way to the top of our hands. I'd like to see if there's any questions, comments. All right.
Sure. Some report, right? You're just asking for.
Yeah, just, I mean, there's nothing, no right questions or right comments, just how's it going? I'm gonna share a passage from this book called Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron. They're just short little passages. But in the meantime, y'all wanna pass around the book of names? We just write. We write down the names of anybody who might need a little bit of extra oomph in their life, just dedicating the merit, sharing our merit to them. It might be somebody who's sick or has passed away recently, or really just anything, looking for a new job, whatever. It can be a little mundane too. It's okay.
Yes, please. Yes. Folks online can too.
Yeah, and for all y'all online, you can just write the name on the chat, and we'll get it into the book. This chapter is called Loving Kindness in Meditation. When we start meditating or to work with any kind of spiritual discipline, we often think that somehow we're going to improve, which is a subtle aggression against who we really are. It's a bit like saying, if I jog, I'll be a much better person. If I had a nicer house, I'll be a better person. If I could meditate and calm down, I'd be a better person. Or the scenario might be that we find fault with others. We might say, if it weren't for my husband, I'd had a perfect marriage. If it weren't for the fact that my boss and I can't get on, my job would be great. And if it wasn't for my mind, my meditation would be excellent. But love and kindness, Maitri being I think a Sanskrit word for love and kindness, towards ourselves does not mean getting rid of anything. Maitri means that we can still be crazy, we can still be angry, we can still be timid or jealous or full of feelings of unworthiness. Meditation practice isn't about trying to throw ourselves away and become something better. It's about befriending who we really are already. The ground of practice is you or me or whatever we are right now, just as we are. That's what we come to know with tremendous curiosity and interest. Curiosity involves being gentle, precise, and open. Actually being able to let go and open. Gentleness is a sense of good-heartedness towards ourselves. Precision is being able to see clearly, not being afraid to see what's really there. Openness is being able to let go and to open. When we come to have this kind of honest gentleness and good-heartedness combined with the clarity about ourselves, there is no obstacle to feel love and kindness for others as well. I mean, I think this we can all probably relate to, even if you're a beginner meditator or a long-term meditator, that somehow we think that we're going to change something about ourselves or we're going to be better tomorrow. But that really is. I mean, it's really telling. You know, why is you now and here needs to be better. You're okay. You're a whole person. You're worth it. You're worth your love and kindness for yourself. So don't allow yourself to have that aggression towards yourself by thinking you need to change. I mean, that being said, there's still self-improvement. You can still work on it, but just don't have that subtle or that in like, you know, that attitude that there's something wrong with you all the time. Maybe that spurs some thoughts, some comments, questions, observations. Also from people online.
Yeah, Jake.
I just want to make sure I understand what you were saying there about the motivations for self-improvement. You've outlined what it's not supposed to be, and it's not supposed to be self-criticism, but could you say again what it is supposed to be? Just like curiosity?
Yeah. Well, there's curiosity, but I think it's also it should be rooted in love and kindness for yourself, not anger or trying to change because you think there's something bad with you, but because you love yourself and you want to do something. It's almost like a little gift. At least that's how I like to think about it, right? Like I wake up in the mornings and I meditate. That's a gift to me, not because there's something wrong, but because it improves the quality of my life. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
It's a great question. It's like, love is, the implication here is that this loving kindness can just naturally flow out. Now, that may not be our experience, but it's kind of like a mirror of what's really available, if that makes sense. And, so this first verse that we sing, may all beings have happiness and its causes, that's from the old days in India and going on in Tibet. That's what love is. It's wishing happiness for everyone, including yourself, as Paulo is very importantly emphasizing. Just because you don't want to suffer and nobody else does, it's enough to send love. And what she is saying here, as Paulo is emphasizing, there's something ready to come out, loving-wise, if we don't get in the way. Whereas feeling, I gotta be more loving or I'll be bad, which is very natural for that to come up, right? So she's gently saying that might happen, but that's not exactly what we're after. And that's kind of, I'm, touched by your question. I think it is a very simple question. How is it that we're not going to be annoyed with ourselves when we're not loving, when we're cultivating love? But that's what love is, that freedom from judgment. The earth holds up everybody, good, bad, and different. When many years ago, we used to go to many retreats, and this was a Namkha Norpa Rinpoche retreat. He was a great Dzogchen master. And somebody who was kind of new came up to somebody who was clearly an experienced student by that time and said, how has this changed you? Totally natural question, right? And I happened to overhear. He just turned around and he said, I don't want to change. He said, I just want to be there. And loving, sending love is kind of like being there, in a supportive way. I always remember that. That's something worth thinking about, that what you're asking. And noticing, as you keep saying, noticing oneself, the judgment that we do. Common cold. I don't know if Harvey's going to be inspired to say anything at some moment. Go ahead. No.
She's really emphasizing one side of a kind of Buddhist equation. And Jake, your question is kind of aware implicitly of all the ethical values and behaviors that are advocated in Buddhism. So this is a bit really the sound of one hand clapping. I think it becomes even more meaningful when we have certain values and virtues that we're trying to cultivate, which all religious and spiritual systems advocate. And within that, can we do it with a certain kind of curiosity and non-judgmentalness? In a way, she's only describing half of a story, and it's a very, very important half of a story, but I think it makes a lot more sense when we're actually engaged with trying to be better people, which most spiritual traditions actually encourage us to do. And how can we temper those values? It's a very, very kind of narrow razor's edge of being able to both hold some aspirations, even if it's to be there, without slipping into judgmentalness. But yeah, she's only addressing half of the picture as far as I'm
Well,
concerned.
then it's just one page.
But yeah.
Anybody else? Do you want to say more about that?
Yeah, I think, I mean, yeah, just kind of echoing what Harvey's saying. As Westerners, so it's interesting. So you hear these stories about the Tibetans teaching Westerners, and Westerners being like, oh, I have all this self-hatred. I have all this, like, I'm not good enough, right? Which is not very common in old school Tibetan culture or Indian culture. They didn't really, that wasn't, like, all texts don't talk about it because it doesn't seem to have, like, happen, but it's like a common cold for psychology for us today. And I think she's very, as a Westerner who has a long history of, personal trauma and work, she's very aware of that self-hatred that we have. So she's saying, it's okay, like, yes, improve yourself, but don't do it through aggression towards who you are today, yeah. It's not, you don't, it's not trying to change yourself by like beating yourself up, but it's like gently through love and kindness, like changing towards a better person. Yeah, and if you read like Pali, old, like what the Buddha supposedly taught, it is a lot about improving and looking at yourself and like, are we morally correct? So that flavor's still in Buddhism. I think she's just trying to give us an antidote for self-hatred.
Yeah, Wendy.
And I just wanted to say that whenever I think about loving kindness for myself or for others, it involves a kind of sense of knowing that we're all in the same condition, the human condition, and that we are, we're more forgiving in that regard, that it's not only us or it's not only them, that it's all of us are suffering from the same kinds of things. It's always, I mean, I can follow my thought patterns, when I think about having loving kindness towards someone or for myself, it's like that's always kind of the underlying pool, I think, that I pull from.
Hi, I'm Cecilia. I just came back from Nepal with my son. And you're so right. They don't have that. And first of all, they greet you with namaste. You feel the warmth once you come in. But also, my son more so realized that they don't have that anger. It's like a very kind and loving way of greeting people. He realized as well that he doesn't need to have that self-criticism, right? Because it's not really the best thing to have. And to loving one is kind of putting your oxygen first, right? The old saying. And kindness and loving others, even though you don't really like them for XYZ reason, really soothes your soul. It just soothes it. It just makes that anxiety less. And by that culture and I'm not saying that they don't get angry, but you can feel it, the Buddhism, the Hinduism, that you feel that they're actually more at peace, maybe. There's no road rage, even though it's chaos. It feels more love and kindness, in all honesty. So it was such an incredible experience to have that and project it, bring it back to us and saying, well, we don't need 10 pairs of black shoes. We don't need this, we don't need that. So it was just an incredible experience. And giving back to them, we left most of our clothes for others, and bringing back the love and kindness was, for me, spiritual, but for my son, a grand learning experience.
Wow, how wonderful you could share it. This is really where judgment comes in. And I just love the phrase that you used, Paulo. You said, come home to the body. Because, as you said, of the body, your breath is in the present moment. Judgment is not really in the present moment. It's looking back or looking forward. And so one of the reasons we say, attention is the start of love is that when we practice we're being with our breath, we practice just being with home, mind and sound united. And those are moments potentially free of judgment. So we get used to that. And then with that, have a kind of more open space for this loving kindness that we're talking about. So that's how those things work together. Thank you, everybody, for your comments, for your time.
Yeah, we're approaching the closing, so
We'll do a little short meditation just to close it up. Same format, probably a little bit less time, just to be mindful of I'm sure you all have things to do. So again, this is a practice of connecting with our breath, learning how to focus our minds on something. That something in this case is our breath and our body. It's just relaxing your belly and allowing your breath to flow. Just bringing curiosity and attention to that breath and the feeling of it. Noticing your seat. Noticing the connection to earth through your sits bones. Feeling into it. Feeling into the supportive structure of your bones and the alignment of your belly with your top of your head that allows electrical pulses to communicate all through your body back to our brains. Maybe even allowing your heart to open and feel some love and kindness for yourself and appreciation for your body, your mind, your breath. We'll do a couple rounds of home. Om. And just riding your breath back to the present moment in your body that is your home. And we'll close our practice today by dedicating our merit. So, at the bottom of group practice prayers, the last two paragraphs, dedication and blessing, are what we're going to sing now. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. So we dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular, people with anxiety and ADHD, Nellie, Kelsey Gustin, Andreska, Jeff Coase, Barry Neal, Abora Useri, John Higgs, and Asali, Joanne Schneider and family, Pace, brother, Rosaline, Dirk, Sarah, Olivia, Tiffany Rose, Remington, Toby Lee, Annan Bardo, Richard and Bardo, Lily, Edith, Thomas, Jennifer B., Jennifer M., Nick, Sam, John's nephew, Bardo, Jen, Sarah, Jairus, Safe Travels, Joe, Pepe, Krissa, Despina, Eleftheria, Manos, Las Zonas, Melina, Marika, Yato, Effie, Tom Reed, Bardo, Clean Draper, Joya, Jodine, Dean, Barney, Trisha, Rob, Shannon, Nam, Marlon, Jonah, Rosaline, Hyde and family, Deborah, Morton, Leah H., Kathleen Roser, victims of oppression, people of Ukraine, animals, and our natural environment. And we'll close our whole thing with just 3 ahs. We'll just chant ah. And as we do ah, we imagine that we're sending light from our heart from ourselves to ourselves first and foremost. Then from there, we share it to those in that room and online. And remember that it's also been shared with us. And then from there, we just expand it to the city, the country, the world, the galaxy, the universe, whatever your mind, your imagination can reach, just allow it to. Thank you for sharing your breath with me and us today. We do have some snacks for you out front, a little bit of time to socialize, as well as some announcements for you. Green Tara, Fresh Eyes from Green Tara is an ongoing class that we have. If you're interested, it's already started, but the first one is recorded. So you could still sign up and watch the recording. So we do every other Tuesday, so the first and third Tuesday of the month. You can attend this. And the next class is on August 1st. And then on August 26th, at the end of it, there will be a short 2.5-hour retreat on Green Tara practice where it will be led by Lama Rinsing and Nathaniel Rich and Claire Villarreal. So that's really cool. Green Tara is a deity of love and compassion.
She's our friend.
She's our friend who's here. And then for all new comers that are curious about what it is that we do as a whole at Dawn Mountain, we'll have a welcome event on August 20th from 12:30 to 1:30 after meditation. So please join. Our lamas, Harvey and Ann, will be here, and we'll talk about other programs that we have.
Celebrate community.
Yeah, celebrate community. In Buddhism, if you don't know, we talk about 3 jewels. The first jewel being like enlightened mind or the Buddha, right? Just it's the same thing. The teachings, right? So like, how do we get there? But the third one is the community, the Sangha, and so it is a pillar of Buddhism, a central pillar of Buddhism to have a community, to have a group, and I think it's a very human thing too. We are tribal beings. Anyway, happy Sunday. Thanks for coming, and enjoy some snacks.
Thank you so much. Lovely. Thank you. Greetings, everyone online, mysterious people on YouTube.
Hey, Poppy.
Hey, Poppy.
Poppy. If you click on those links, then it opens up into a tab, and then
What are you, I can't hear. What?
Poppy asked a question in the chat, so I'm responding to her by voice. Sorry.
You asked a question that we didn't hear?
No, it was like, how does she access the links after the Zoom closes? So I was just telling her.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to see you again today.
Hi, Nancy. Always nice to see you. Oh, Kaisu left already. Great to see you, Wendy. Always. Thank you, Shane.